live button. So
Okay.
now we're live. So hey everyone, welcome to the AMA with NitroDome and Kima. Apparently the guys from Kima have some technical issues to join, so we're just being here for a second and wait for the guys. So we have Olena here from the marketing
Hello,
Kima.
hello. Can you hear me?
Hi,
Hello.
Olena. Hey.
Perfect. Because before I was talking to you, Nicole, I heard everything you were saying, and
Okay.
it seems like you couldn't hear me.
Well, that's fine. Guys, I start with an intro. For those who don't know us.
I'm sorry. We're waiting for Tamer.
Okay.
He will be the one to present Kima. Give me half a minute to pin him again. Sorry.
Sure, no problem. We are live already, so we do some casual talking until then. That's fine. So yeah, excited about this AMA. So let's see what Kima has to say. Yeah.
Well, let's give some updates on where we're at with our with NitroDome.
Just a very quick question. So it will be kind of pre-recorded, and after that, you will stream it to your audience, right?
No, it's streaming right now. It's streaming on
It's
YouTube and
live.
X.
Okay, good. So then let's wait for Tamer. He's about to join us. Thanks. By the way, can users interact with us? Can they ask any question?
Well, someone has to track Twitter or YouTube and see if there are any comments coming up, as well as we will let them know to join the NitroDome channel and drop their questions there. So we're tracking it, and then we're going to ask these questions so that you have a chance to reply.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Go ahead, Paul.
Well, I was just talking about, in the meantime, we'll give a few updates on where NitroDome is at and what we've been doing. Gordon's been working nonstop, and so is Nicole and myself. And we have Robomaniacs live. Not only is it's live to play the game, it's free to play. You can sign up, register, play the game. Our first season just ended for the fights, and it was awesome. It was some very good fights there. We got some pretty big bots. We opened up a new zone. So we're doing some pretty cool stuff there. But in addition to that, we also have our portal live, our NFT portal. Now, Nitro Portal is pretty incredible because you can actually bring robot parts out from one of the zones and bring them into another zone. So a lot of players are using that facility to be able to take some of the really cool bot parts they have in their first zone and bring them and use them in the second zone. So there's a lot of capabilities there. And so it's showcasing the benefits of using Nitro Portal and attaching it to a game that is 100% Web 2 and using the Nitro Portal to actually provide Web 3 functionality. It's pretty impressive. Very awesome.
Pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome. And the other thing that we've been able to do is, and one of the reasons we put out Robomaniacs and the platform before we wanted to go fully live with our token is we wanted to do some testing, obviously, and do some stress testing and figure out anything that we need to add. And over the past couple of weeks, we've added a lot of new features. We've added a lot of new functionality. We've stabilized the platform even more, added some, plugged some security holes as you do, and just continually working forward. So it's quite impressive how far we've come in only a few weeks.
Yeah, thanks for the update, Paul. So we have Toma here. Toma, can you hear us, and are you able to speak? Everything works on your end?
I can hear you. Is it working?
And we can hear you too. Hello.
Hi, Toma. Nice meeting you.
Good.
Okay, so
I was waiting.
Yeah. So Toma, let me know once you're ready, and we can start with the AMA.
I am ready. I was waiting at a Twitter space until I realized that I need to come here. So here I am, full ready and operational.
Awesome.
Excellent. Welcome.
So let me clean up the stage a bit and reorder this so that the speaker is highlighted. So first of all, nice having you, Toma, and of course, well, let me switch there quickly.
Did we already start, by the way? Are we live?
Oh yeah, we're live.
Good.
Yeah, by the way, you're live.
Yeah, and I came right to the party.
Yay, welcome to the party.
Okay, so let's start, guys. Welcome to the first AMA we have with Kima finance, and welcome Toma as well. Before we start, I want to say thank you for the guys that are listening and follow up, and apologize for the delay. So what we're doing today is we have an interview with Toma, and he will give us some deep insights about Kima, what these guys doing right now, what is all about their tech, how we're working together, and of course what's upcoming. And there's some super exciting news we have read. And before we start, I give for the new listeners a quick intro about myself. We also let Paul introduce him, and then we went to Toma, and Toma can give us an exciting rundown on himself and what Kima is doing as an intro. So from my end, I'm the CEO, founder, as well as main developer for NitroDome. NitroDome has been built over the last 3 years, and we're on our final stages as well to go live. A bit of a history: I'm based in Europe, Austria. In this space since 2016, full-time, full stack since 2019, and I'm working close with Paul together over the last 3.5 years approx to build out NitroDome together. And Nicole as well, she's in the interview as well. She's our CMO, and working with us together since 3 years as well. So that's from my end. I hand it over to Paul. Paul, give a quick intro, and now we move forward.
I've been a developer for a little over 35 years in the corporate world, doing massive database work and optimizations, and came into blockchain about 2017, and just realized that this place needs a lot more good architecture and building for stability and strength. And met up with Gordon, and he pretty much had the exact same view. And so together we got together and built NitroDome, and we've been building for 3+ years on that. And here we are, about ready to go.
Good. Nicole, you want to intro yourself as well, or not needed? Just let me know so we can switch to
Oh, no, I'm not important. But we work very close together. This has been a big project in the making, 3+ years. I'm not a developer. The guys do everything in the back. Don't ask me about that stuff, but as far as community and everything, I am here for it. I relay everything that's going on to our socials, community manager, social media manager, CMO, wear a couple of hats, but we cover everything here, make sure everybody knows what's going on, keep everybody up to date. Any questions anybody has for us, you can come to me in the community on Twitter, and we'll definitely get you the information you need for it. We're always here for NitroDome. So
awesome. Okay, Tomer, stage is yours. Let the guys know all about you.
Hey guys, so thanks for having me. Tomer, 25 years in digital marketing, 12 years an angel investor in crypto, investing exclusively since 2019. Came into crypto in 2016 during the ICO boom. No one kind of knew how to find the people who has Ethereum wallets for their ICOs. So I helped create some of the funnels and tactics, back in the day to how to be able to market, and interact with these investors. Coming from cybersecurity background, originally had 5 startups, 3 crashed, 2 I managed to sell. Post the successful exits, became an angel investor. One of my portfolio companies is Kima, which I was lucky enough to get an opportunity to join as a later founder and become the CMO. Writing for Forbes and Cointelegraph about blockchain and DeFi and everything that is cool in the industry for the last about 4 years, and strategic advisor of quite a few projects. Some of them you may know, ChainGPT, JD Protocol, and some other names that probably you heard about. And that's it. Excited to discuss Kima with you today. Kima is my baby, what I do 24/7. We're getting ready for our TGE. And yeah, lots of fun. Hit me.
That's awesome. Thanks for the intro, Emma. It's a pleasure meeting you. Yeah, it's awesome stuff. And it seems like kind of in a bigger play, right? We like ChainGPT, for example, is kind of big, right? Kima as well. So yeah, seems like a big player. So welcome in this space. So Paul, you going with the questions or?
Yeah, I can start with them. Yeah, we're really happy to work with you guys. We've been working with you guys for a little bit, and hell of a team, and you guys know your stuff, and so it's been a real pleasure. And so it's actually really nice to meet you. I don't think I've actually met you yet. I've been working with the dev team. So,
Thank you.
so
Likewise.
Kima. So tell us kind of give us an idea of what is Kima. What does Kima do? What's their core business?
Okay, so Kima's solution is a little bit unique. Initially, when I heard about Kima, when the team tried to explain to me what Kima does, I remember the call with the Eitan, the CEO, to invest. I thought that basically it's a bridge, and then I understood what they actually do. A 25 minutes call got into 3 hours of talking about the industry and technology and how everything started and where we're today and the future of DeFi, etc. And then I still didn't quite understand what Kima does. And then we had another, he said, we need coffee. We had coffee. It was 1 hour meeting, again, 3 hours. At the end of them, I said, okay, I'm in, and I'm going to help explain what you actually build. So Kima is not a bridge. Kima is an interoperability communication protocol. It's a universal connection between any centralized application to any decentralized application. We are basically the pipe that can connect any blockchain to any blockchain and any application to any blockchain. We can connect Solana to Bitcoin, Bitcoin to Ethereum, Ethereum to Near to Tron, Tron to Bitcoin, and Solana to your bank account, Bitcoin to your Robinhood account, etc., etc., etc. We're doing this magic by creating the Kima network, which is the first app chain in the world that has an API and an SDK. So it can communicate both with the centralized world and with the decentralized world in a completely decentralized manner, seamlessly. So you can say that we're something like the HTTPS of all of this centralized and decentralized world.
That's awesome. Thank you. At least from a technical standpoint, I can say that we integrated Kima already on our front end, on the gaming platform, as well as on the NFT DEX. And it was like super easy and straightforward. It was like done within 2 hours. The SDK is really well done. And the testing started after this initial hour, and it worked properly. So you did a great job, guys, from a technical standpoint. If we have devs on board, definitely worth checking it out and play around. The testnet was pretty stable, and I bridged from east to what was that, from Tron to east, so it worked properly from a testing. And yeah, no, well done, guys.
Thank you.
Paul, I give it to you.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's like I said, we love your tech. And so what made you decide to go down this road? What problems were you trying to solve? And why are you different than your competitors?
Great question. And I will be, first of all, thank you guys for the kind words and the support. I will send it, of course, to the dev team. I'm not touching keyboards many years now. I'm not writing any code, thank God. I'm not touching anything. And the concept, of course, came from the minds of our founders, from Guy, Eitan, and Tsachi. So initially, Kimas, not many know, but started as a project that's called Diversify. And it was supposed to be a project to unify all of the liquidity sources on all chains to create one huge liquidity pool, and by that solve the problem of liquidity on chains and make like everything universal. And then problems show their face. First main problem is hacks with bridges. So as you know, when you usually hear about a hack in our industry, most of the time it's hacks to bridges. Bridges are easy to hack most of the time. It's a software written by men. Every software written by men, it's basically a problem that can be solved by another problem, meaning finding an exploit and a hack, and then liquidate one side of the bridge or two sides of the bridge by using that exploit. So they understood that they will never be able to create an environment that will be safe enough for everyone to communicate and collaborate in if we will keep relying on smart contracts and oracles that will be managing bridges. And that's how the concept for Kima was born, as a chain that has no users, has no liquidity, has no dApps, has only validator nodes that will be sending messages and will be transferring liquidity between every spot to another by request and demand. That's how the concept of Kima was born. Everyone said, of course, that it cannot be done, and this is unrealistic to try and create such a thing. And then the team were smart enough to create it, building for a few good years this project with minds from all around the world. Some of them are professors in blockchain research institutions and universities. Some of them are people who worked, together with during the Satoshi Nakamoto era on the original Bitcoin forum, on this solution we're all using today called blockchain. And Kima was created. That's how Kima was born. Some crazy and good people thought that these guys can actually do it, give them the funding, and here we are today with this operational system.
There's a lot of things there that you said that are just awesome, and really mind-blowing. The one that really catches me is a blockchain with no users and no liquidity that is used specifically for a utility with validators. Most people have just, that blows their mind on what a blockchain can be. And I love the idea of using blockchains and anything for something that it was outside of the norm. And that's why I love what Kima's doing here. And it makes a lot of sense. And it makes a lot of sense.
Thank you.
Let me get back to my questions here.
Well, let me jump in quickly.
Sure, absolutely.
So we have some visitors and viewers, and guys, if you have any questions to Kima, from what has been said already and what's upcoming next, if you have any questions, go to Telegram or go to YouTube, drop a comment. Nicole is here, and she's catching up all the questions that's going around, and then we will discuss the questions after the AMA. So let's accumulate some, and I would say, yeah, we move on. Paul, go ahead.
So in this the system that you've built, what could be transferred across from blockchain to blockchain using the Kima network? Is it just tokens, or is it NFTs? Is it proofs? What could be transferred back and forth?
Again, a great, awesome question. I'm usually used to boring questions when we're doing these AMAs, so I'm happy that you guys prepare the interesting stuff that can actually, explain about what we're building, not just when do you launch your token, and tell us more about the holders and your backers.
Oh, those questions are on the list.
I know. But usually people are asking this right away. We're getting to the boring stuff. So, awesome questions. What can be transferred on Kima? This is the most mind-blowing and awesomest thing to answer on, because Kima does not only transfer money and assets. So Kima basically transfers messages. That's what the network does. So on every blockchain or every centralized entity, a bank or an app that you're using on your phone that is connected to Kima through our API or SDK, if it's on the blockchain, we have a relay sitting on that blockchain that you, like an Ethernet cable, you plug it into the internet socket, and then you can communicate with everything that is connected to Kima, with everything that is connected. You're on the internet of the blockchains. So you can indeed send assets, but you can send any message. For example, you can connect your PlayStation account now to your Solana wallet, for example, and use your NFTs on a PlayStation game. You can take from PlayStation your PlayStation profile and sell the profile. You can do basically whatever you want. Now, you can also, for example, let's say that you're an influencer and you're selling tweets to sponsor your show on YouTube or whatever. So let's go with the tweet example. By Twitter connecting through Kima's API, they can connect, if it's an app, directly to, let's stay with the example of Solana. So I can create a DApp that every time that one SOL is being sent to a certain address, then the Kima network will initiate a tweet with the tweet that I wanted you to post on that influencer's wall profile automatically without anything, without people doing it in a completely decentralized manner. So no one can control or change it, for example. So we can send anything, we can do anything that we want. The way that we are transferring value on chain is with stablecoin liquidity pools. Stablecoins are like the universal language, you can say, of liquidity on chain. So by utilizing stablecoin pools, we're able to transfer value from one chain to another by liquidating, issuing USDC, and purchasing on a DEX the asset, for example. So we do not wrap assets. It's not synthetic assets. It's the actual assets. You're getting them actual assets on the chain without bridging anything. You did not bridge anything. So sky's the limit with what you can build with Kima. It can be like an app to play with your stuff on the PlayStation Store. It can be an app to transfer stuff from your Xbox Live account theoretically to the PlayStation Store if they will allow it, to the PlayStation Network, excuse me, account. And the sky's the limit. So yeah, definitely not only assets, but any message that you'd like. And if you'd like to do it with something that has value, then this is how the operation works. Many are asking like about RWAs, for example, like how will this thing become money? So RWA is a hyped thing now. Yeah. Everybody, are talking about RWA projects, are popping around, buying RWA dot something, and suddenly they're an RWA project, and they're promising the moon. But no one is asking how the value will pass from one side to another. Someone needs to own it, right? Like your driver's license can be an RWA, right? It can be digital, why not? Yeah. So, but when we're saying RWAs, do we mean your driver license or do we mean a diamond? And then it means that someone issued a token that means that this is your certificate that you own that diamond somewhere. And then someone needs to hold the diamond. And so what happens on chain? I can hold many of these certificates, but how do they become money? So Kima is actually enabling the communication between the centralized world, the old world, physical world, and liquidity pools on chain that are managing these assets and enable the liquidation of these assets into real money or stable coins or money to your bank account. We're actually making the RWAs also transferable, tradable, and real. We give confidence to the backing of these assets in a decentralized manner. Yep.
Yep. Cool stuff. Great answer. Appreciate that. And this is quite deep. Like it seems like infinite options, right? You can do everything, and in particular with RWA. So I want to give the users, I mean, it's like kind of deep talk right now, right? So to give users an easy understanding how we using Kima and how it helped us, I just want to bring this up so that, like non-technical guys also have a good understanding. So we try to make our platform as much as user-friendly, right? And what is one major point for being user-friendly is like it doesn't need to be complex. And on the other hand, I need to be able to do mostly everything I want to do on one platform. I don't want to leave it, right? So as we are working with RWA as well, or we name it RGA, Real Gaming Assets, which is the same principle, people are able to purchase and sell their in-game assets on our platform. But if they want to buy or sell something and they figure out, oh, okay, these guys are on ETH or these guys are on Base, we are apparently on Base and ETH is going to be launched soon. So the guys may want to purchase something, right? So, and now they figure out I do not have USDC in my wallet on the Base chain. So the typical step would be I go to my central exchange, I go to a DEX or whatever, and I start bridging from one side to another side. I coming back to the NitroDome page, and I think your solution is an optimal case for us because we made it so that if you purchase an in-game asset for 10 USDC and you figure out, oh, I do not have USDC on my wallet, I can just open the Kima SDK and I can bridge within the website. It's just an SDK that says from to like Ton or Bitcoin or like to ETH or Base, hopefully soon. If users can do that within our platform without leaving that, thanks to Kima, it's a great service, right? Because people don't want to jump between websites; they want to have an all-in-one solution, and we are super happy with that. And just to give the community and explainer how this works and how easy it is, right? So for users, it's really a kind of service, and yeah, it's great having you on board with that. Paul, you want to go ahead?
Thank you
or
for
you
using
wanna add
Kima for it. Like you guys are exactly like the reason that a platform like Kima needs to exist. Like this is exactly the usage, and as you said, at the end of the day, we need to give to the users something that they would love to use, that they would want to
Yeah.
use. It needs to be, we used to call it back in my day, KISS. It needs to be a KISS solution, keeping it simple and stupid. So
Yeah.
the user needs to have, like, they don't care about the mumbo jumbo tech behind it, right? Like the user generated content era, basically succeeded because companies like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter enabled you to become a blogger, a streamer, without needing to know any code. You don't need to be a developer to build a website, front end, back end, servers, content writing, and registration. They made it simple and accessible. Email, password, here's your blog, upload your content, you're live. So exactly like how you guys are utilizing the technology, this is exactly what we were trying to achieve, to make the Web3 amazing digital ownership blessing accessible to everyone, and it needs to be simple. People don't care what you do behind the scenes. They only care that it works. Like ask people how Netflix actually works and they can stream stuff. They have no idea
Right.
whether the fiber optics behind, underneath the oceans connecting continents, and video streaming, and the data. They have no idea, but it's nice. They just watch stuff. They watch a movie, and happy to hear to have you and to hear the way that you're utilizing our technologies, because this is exactly what we aim to do, to connect with projects like yours that are making things accessible and easy for people to actually use. So
Yeah. No, that's
awesome.
cool stuff, and we've seen recently a lot of projects popping up, right? They're just creating their own wallet, and I think like, you know what, it's nice, but there are so many wallet providers, and they're so like in a progress. They have made so many experience and great services. Like, I don't want to promote this, but check MetaMask, what they have achieved, right? Like, just mention that. So I don't see the need of bringing new wallets out there if there's so many stuff. But you found literally a unique solution, right? That is definitely needed in order to help other projects to bring services. Because I'm not interested if we have like a real gaming asset platform to implement a set bridge, right? That brings USDC. I don't want to focus on that. Our focus is somewhere else. So you really brought the product up that brings pure utility where people definitely should dive in. And I always love projects with utility because they're not much outside. Most of the project have empty, or let's say a big roadmap with a lot of promises and nothing ever comes to fruition. So, and you're one of the rare ones that really has delivered, and that's pretty cool stuff.
Thank you.
So we have some more questions. Paul, I give it to you. I'm sorry for interrupting your interview.
Oh, absolutely.
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm sitting here, I've talked to the dev team and I've looked at the documentation, but, just hearing you explain some of this capabilities and possibilities, my mind is exploding with some, wow, so I'm really into NFTs and what we can do with NFTs, this whole idea of, individually identifiable assets and what they actually mean and where you can go with them and what you can do with them. And, let's stop, making them JPEGs. Let's do something real with them. And that's
Totally.
exciting. And hearing somebody talk about this at a tech level and about, all about the capabilities, and it's basically, it's up to us how we figure out what we want to do with it, up to our imagination. And that's kind of what we built with NitroDome, is we built tech and then it's up to your imagination how you implement it. And just, what you put on both sides of the equation, we say this all the time, is, we built this thing that what you put on both sides of the equation is up to you. Get imaginative. And as far as the KISS, the KISS method, it's like, the best technology implementations look like magic.
Yeah.
They just look like magic. It's like I press this button and it does all of these things. I don't know how it works. It's magic. And and Kima's provided that, and we're working to provide that. And so that's pretty awesome to see.
Thank you. We're basically trying to do something like I'm feeling free to to go into that analogy, because you guys have also been around. So you remember back in the day we used to have like Palm devices, and then we had Windows Pocket PCs, and Nokia started with Nokia Symbian, and Ericsson had their own version, and basically had so many smart devices, with touch screens, with a tiny pen. Remember these awful days, that you used to go to your pocket.
Yeah.
And then, suddenly, there came this company, and presented Android. So what Android did, it did not compete with the phone manufacturers. It did not compete, but suddenly it made the smartphone era, the abilities to explode. Like, everyone can now use an operating system that is universal. Everyone can build for it. It's cheap, it's easy, it's accessible. And suddenly, like, everyone, around the world started to use smartphones. It made everything cheap. It made everything accessible. It simplified everything. So in Kima, we're trying to do exactly that. We're not competing with anyone. We're not competitors of bridges. We are not. We are the Android operating system that comes to make stuff easier for everyone, just to use this awesome thing called blockchains.
That's awesome, because I think we have a pretty good understanding of that, Toma, because we have some synergies here, as our Nitro portal is literally a bridge that can attach to every game. It doesn't matter if it's Android, iOS, Xbox. So users can plug in our solution and they can trade in-game assets and turn them into NFTs. So it's literally a unique solution as well, and it helps other people, in particular gaming studios, to NFTify their games, right? So is there like kind of an overlap in terms of we are providing utility? And I think it's a perfect suit between Kima and what we're doing. And I hope there will be some stuff more. I just want to front run this. I have a lot of conversation with Armand recently, because we want to go deeper. That NitroDome is going live on base, and you're not on base yet. So we are hoping that this is going to happen soon, and we can fully go live with that as well.
We will be, I believe, very soon. EVMs takes for us like 2 days to connect to.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool, because then we can activate the feature finally, and then users can use it. But we have some more questions, because you guys doing an IDO soon. We'd love to get some details on that, so that our listeners have a chance to catch up and follow up on this as well. So Paul, you want to go with that fundraising and IDO questions?
Yeah, absolutely. So now we're down to the really important stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we hate talking about it, but I tell you what, this is what makes the engine go. This is the gas. So we do need to talk about tokenomics and the IDO, your upcoming IDO. But I mean, for us, we're tech nerds. We probably sit and talk for hours about tech itself. But we want to make sure that everybody understands how to get involved, how to participate, how to back this project, and how to be part of this amazing future you're building.
So thank you. We reached to the moment to speak about the IDO. So background, originally, we did not plan to do like a public sale. It was just not there, because we did not require the funding we raised before. And the original plan was to go with an IEO. We were in discussions with one of the biggest exchanges in the world that most of you probably know and use, to launch as an IEO under a Launchpad Launchpool program. And we decided to deny, because we thought that by over centralizing, trying to over-centralize the Kima, we're basically shooting ourselves in the leg, and we need the community to be part of this. We need the community to own it. We need the community to hold it. The original round was also half the size that it is now, and not because we wanted the money. It's because we had a demand for it. So originally we're supposed to launch with one launchpad, originally with ChainGPT, that is incubating Kima. And then we decided, by recommendation, of course, from ChainGPT, to collaborate with two other launchpads, with Polka Starter. We're launching also on Polka Starter, and with DextPad, which is a new launchpad by DexTools, which you all probably know. Then we are happy and proud to be the first project to launch on DextPad by DexTools. Gonna be fun. We're starting at the 21st. Then we're moving forward to TGE, which is happening on the 26th, which is Tuesday next week. Exchanges I cannot announce yet because they requested to announce first, but we can probably say some names. Launching with KuCoin, launching with Gate, and launching with Mexi, and
awesome.
thank you, and expect more surprises down the road. We already have secondary requests to this secondary Kima on other exchanges, and we will be doing this and rolling out through probably the end of Q4 24 and Q1 25. So that's basically the plan.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And best of luck with that, man. That's
Wow.
exciting. I
Yes.
can't wait to get involved.
Thank
I'll
you.
definitely do my part. I'm glad you guys are doing it because at least then I can, I can jump on the bandwagon too, beyond
you.
just using it. So that's awesome. So I think we did have one question, and from the community, it was any progress updates or roadmap insights.
Mom, so progress. We had, can give you like a scoop. At the moment, we're like story needs to get to this big publication soon. Still at the works on exclusivity or not for it, for the written one, but I can just say that Kima has presented in the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange, presented a solution that enables seamless purchase of stocks, tokenized stocks, directly from the stock market with basically stable coins. So you can swap and use your stablecoin directly into tokenized stocks in the stock exchange. So decentralized communicates with the centralized in a completely decentralized manner, which is something very awesome that we're working on now. Hopefully, that it will become a thing that everybody will use in the future. In addition, we're speaking to 3 governments to provide crypto payment rails to their CBDCs. Yes, these are becoming a real thing, and the governments are moving fast towards it. So in communications with 3 governments at the moment. As I already said, in communications with a few sexes, centralized exchanges, that is, for secondary listings, post the TGE. And at the moment, we have the pipeline a little bit over 230 dApps that are awaiting integration. Yeah, and to connect to our mainnet. At the moment, I know that about 40 are actively building the integration, are in different stages, and a few are already connected and operational and are ready to launch with us on mainnet. I think that's enough scoops.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad we're part of that list, and
Yes.
we plan to integrate more, especially now that my brain's working a little bit more on this. And after our conversation here, I'm just thinking, oh man, there's so many things I want to try. Let's see if we can do that. So I greatly appreciate it. Any closing thoughts you would like to? We're coming towards the end of here. Any closing thoughts you'd like to leave us with? going forward? It
Well,
doesn't even have to be for business. It could be personal too. Whatever you just want to leave the audience with.
Share what
so
Don't be
Or tell
shy.
you what, we can discuss a little bit maybe about the markets, and people want to know what's going on with the markets. Where are we headed? Because I'm also the investment director of ChangeGPT Labs. I happen to
Really?
wear that hat
That's
on my head.
awesome.
Yeah, on my
Yeah.
head. And
Awesome.
I'm old dog investing, stocks and crypto many years, been to cycles, bear, bulls, pigeons, all of the markets.
Yeah.
And I think that we are seeing a beginning of a new mega cycle, which is something that we've never experienced before. I'm not sure if anyone recently looked at the coin market cap. They have on the top or in CoinGecko, you can see the total value locked on chains, like the market cap of all the industry. And we went down, we went up, excuse me, about $1 trillion into space in like less than a month, I think.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like this is unprecedented what's happening here now. It started when Trump won about, to become serious,
Yeah,
but we are in all-time high in terms of the money that we have on chain. Now, what's happening is that Bitcoin, the king, is now sucking all of that liquidity and growth. Bitcoin always does 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards, 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards.
yeah. So the
Every
alts can follow,
time,
right? Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
every time that it does these steps backwards, it's Bitcoin releasing to it, out of it, um, value to the rest of the ecosystem, fertilizes everything, right? Because investors are taking profits from BTC, the whales, and then they start allocating into higher risk projects, newer projects that will generate higher returns. And that's the altcoin season that we're all waiting for.
yeah,
So by looking at things now, I think that we are positioned very well to launch new innovations. We still have a huge race on liquidity in terms of fundraising that you discussed initially. So in terms of fundraising, it's still tough outside because there's a lot of innovation, a lot of projects, and of course, when crypto, then a lot of frauds. And basically, people are raising money for everything that has 3 buzzwords that they can put in a pitch deck.
AI,
Um,
RWA. What else?
yeah, RWA, deepen,
Even right.
interoperability,
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's all the nice words, that you can AI, everything that you can throw in, so
yeah,
that
some
all the
buzzwords.
nice words.
Yeah, and you can combine them together, and to make
Right.
well, I think
something
the
new.
challenge, yeah, so we had, that we have like the same pathway than you guys. We're preparing ourselves since a year plus to get us positioned. We had a lot of VC calls, and it's like, honestly, the last 7 8 months was not an optimum to get the VC on board, even like getting KOLs on board. We know how the market looked like, right? And now the challenge is, and we got this confirmed by several VCs as well, the challenge is to find the right projects, because there's so many. The market is overflooded by projects that calling themselves the next big AI thing, the next RWA thing. So how to find the unicorns in that, right? Like the one that is really legged. And even though if you like your own DD, it's always hard because never know who's really behind the scenes and is this legged or not. And we have even seen projects, they got hyped and promoted by bigger launch pads and they rocked. So it's always a challenge. And so I understand that the mentality from the last compared to the last cycle changed, right? So the requirements grow, and so people have to do, they have to have a market maker, they have to have a marketing agency, they have to have central exchanges in order to get listed on an IDO platform. That has not
Yeah,
been happened in the last cycle. So everything became different. Some things I really like because it's hard for fake projects to register a company, to get central exchange with KYC and all the stuff. So it's a barrier, and I understand that. But however, it makes it also difficult for smaller projects to get traction and eyeballs. But however, I would have a question, because you mentioned at the beginning multi-bull cycle, right? And I'm familiar with that. I'm tracking the chart every day, and I understand how it works. But for those who do not understand multiple cycle, how does this differ from the experience we made like 4 years ago, 8 years ago? Right, it repeats. Bitcoin goes up. So one of my best friends is like day trader. He said as soon as Bitcoin crosses the all-time high, we talk about the bull run. So the multi-bull can come. So how does it look like from your point of view? How is the multi-bull different from what we have seen in the past?
So the main difference is that this time it's not a joke anymore. In this cycle, we have something different. Suddenly you see ETF trackers, that are tracking like money coming from the old into an ETF into the new, right? So basically, this is buying pressure that comes from a stock exchange into BTC through SEXs and DEXs. This is new money that we did not have. Also, more volatility, if you may, and more limiting to what it's not trading on ETFs at the moment. But we'll not get into it because it's a little bit more complex.
Yeah.
But the industry is becoming more accessible. And you said it perfectly well. Remember, in the previous cycle, you would just launch on a DEX. You will show that you launch liquidity. Remember back in the day, launch pads. So a liquidity pool initiation time, and you will have a time that the liquidity pool is being initiated, and this is your launch, right, on chain. And now it's not enough. You need to launch at least at least 2 or 3 centralized exchanges that are reputable exchanges in order to be taken seriously. So this cycle is much more mature than all the rest. This time we're seeing a shift from the nerd playground into the mass adaptation stage, I want to say. Thanks to ETFs, and the ability to inject money from centralized to decentralized. Now, it's no longer, a place for dark web to buy cocaine and, I don't know, or, rifles and bombs or exotic animals. This is not it. People, used to come, Bitcoin, yeah, it's how terrorists are getting funding. It's not it. Suddenly, you sit on a taxi and the taxi driver starts talking with you about Bitcoin, and the Ethereum and Solana, and starting to actually know these names. By the way, that's also usually the sign for you to sell. But but on another note, you see that it's no longer a curse. Telling you people that you do blockchain innovations or you work in a blockchain company, in a Web3 company, it's no longer, doing some shady stuff, to move money on the internet. People understand what it is.
Yeah. It's still a long way. Like I'm sitting together with one of my friends once a month. We go for some pool, drinking a beer and having conversations. And I can tell you 9 out of 10 have no idea what crypto is. And it's like either I have wrong friends, but honestly, it's like we are far away from mass adoption, as a lot of people simply do not understand the tech. But they don't have to understand, but they still say that crypto is like kind of toxic. Like one guy asked me like, what are you doing? Oh, like I'm Web3 developer. Web3, yeah, blockchain stuff. Oh, I don't want to deal with that. So don't, it's like gray area and all the stuff. So I think there's a lot of things needs to be done in the next months. And yes, of course, it's a challenge to bring crypto and blockchain to the users. But I think you guys and what we are doing is the first step in the right direction. Make it more user friendly, easier to understand. And yeah, of course, I fully agree. If the crowd is there and they understand when we coming from, how did you phrase it, from a newbie level to like average person can handle crypto, then we made everything right. So yeah, I fully agree to that, and I'm looking forward to what's coming up in the next months in particular.
Can't hear you.
We cannot.
There you go.
You mute. Yeah. Okay.
There we go.
Yes, so Thomas, good.
Okay. Sorry. Then I had to switch my headset. I already run out of battery. I'm in meetings all day. I have 2 sets next to me. One is charging, the other one I'm using.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
This cycle is different. It reminds me of the dot-com bubble.
Yeah.
No, for the good and for the bad of it. So the industry is mature. We have now, people are rushing inside with dozens of thousands of projects. It's like the gold rush. Everybody are rushing to raise money from this blockchain thing because it's easy. You have a publicly listed company overnight in the blockchain thing. And everybody are rushing in here. But this cycle is going to be awesome and it's going to be bloody.
Yeah.
For bad projects. Because this cycle is much more mature. It doesn't take, pardon my French, the bullshit, that we used to take in the past with all of these scams. You still see them, but you see them less and less. Now, these scammy projects are basically becoming meme coins. It's faster to them. It's more transparent to the one being scammed, and basically like you're in a casino. Like you don't know if it's a with a casino or it's just that will dump, in the next 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the dot-com bubble, the ones who stayed behind, like, and survived this thing, became Microsoft, became Expedia, Booking, became Intel, became Texas Instruments, became all of the NVIDIA, became titans, that we all use and enjoy today, that built this real internet, the digital era.
Yeah.
I believe that we're going into the same process now in our industry. All these pumps and dumps and all of these fake tiny projects, scammers trying to make quick buck are being eliminated very quickly. Some of them succeed to take something on their way home, but the industry is not as dumb as it was before. The investors are much more sophisticated and educated than they were before. And I hope that the industry, the investors will know how to differentiate the good ones from the bad ones, and that we will all be surviving the cycle, happily to build this future internet thing on blockchain.
Yeah. No, absolutely agree. I mean, there's a lot of stuff ongoing. We talk about Mika, we talk about KYC, KYB, everything that is coming up. I think that's crucial to build trust, even if it's a barrier sometimes. But if you pass it and you have nothing to hide, then you can establish yourself in a really good position. And I think that's the key to gain trust to the mainstream, right? So a lot of things going on, and I really love the process. Even as I said, for some it's a barrier, but if you pass them, it's good. And so yeah, no, I'm pretty excited about that. Nicole, do we have any other questions that came up in the meanwhile? Do you see everything that's maybe?
I asked in the group. I think we have some people. Basically, it was just progress updates and some insights into the TGE, which I think we've been discussing pretty thoroughly here. A lot of topics that we're on right now. So
yeah,
I think we covered basically everything that everybody was asking. Actually,
that's
and
awesome.
then some.
Cool.
And then that was a good call. It was a good conversation, and I even learned some things, even though we've been working with Kima for a while. So I love that.
Yeah,
I love the insight, and it's really cool what these guys are doing. And I thought it was really great when you said, okay, and he explained it to me, and then he had to explain it again. But, our listeners out there, these guys are doing big things, just like we do with our portal tech. They're picking up the back end, so you don't got to worry about it. Oh my gosh, so much work has been put into this. You guys have awesome partners. I've seen what you're up to. I see what you do. Amazing stuff. And wish you the best, definitely, personally.
Thank you so much.
We are rooting for you guys, so it's freaking 100%. Awesome.
Yeah, it was a great AMA, Toma. A pleasure meeting you. It was a great conversation, not only about Kima, also your insights about the market situation and what your mindset is on that. Pretty good call, guys. If you're interested, go to kima.network, check out the website, what these guys have built, and follow up on their upcoming IDO as well as the upcoming launch. Toma, I hope that we stay in touch, build out this partnership, and
for sure.
Hopefully we hear soon in the next AMA, latest when we are doing our AMA to go live as well. But yeah, all the best for you guys. Good luck with the launch. And yeah, thanks for jumping in, guys. It was a great interview, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome.
Pleasure. Thanks again, guys. You're awesome.
We have to do it again.
Whenever you want.
Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.